It's still starting.
Okay.
And you're on. Go.
All right. Hey, Sheila. So what I'm struggling with Canvas is I have really a basic homepage set up that my students can see. They've got the class meeting that I change a couple times a week and our check-in. And then just a basic, like, this is our world, right? And on one of my pages, I have a link to my syllabus, which I can put here too. But what I'm really struggling with is when my students come here, I want them to be able to, just like in Google Docs, Google Classroom, you could come and you could just see the class feed. So you would just see immediately my latest post that I could say, hi, I'm looking forward to seeing you in class. And here is a link to the next assignment. And I know that you can do that here, but it feels like what I'm seeing in the videos is you have to create all these modules. You have to create these different pages. And I'm thinking there must be kind of a simpler way for students to just access basic information without getting too in the weeds and too like hyper techie with it, which I'm just not there yet. So I just want to do a very simple presentation for my classes, and they can access assignments as I put them in or anything that I need to add to it. And I'm struggling with that.
Okay.
Sheila,
well, thank
you want to start? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So you want it to be really easy. And the first thing I would suggest for anyone who is trying to make their assignments list easier would be if you want to first deal with the navigation tabs. That would be the first thing, because that part takes a lot out so students don't have to be seeing unnecessary tabs. So I'll show you the first step that I would recommend, and that is, let me just present my own.
You're going to present? Okay.
Yes, I'll present my own screen, and then you can just, follow along. So let me do Chrome tab. Okay. All right. And then
follow along on my laptop.
Okay. Yeah, and remember, since this is being recorded too, you can always follow it back and with the steps as well. But the first thing I would recommend is that you change the navigation tabs. So, for example, here I am on my class here, Accounting and Personal Finance. This is my home page. And like yours, it's very similar. It's got information on it, but students might not see right offhand where to submit their assignments. So we'll start off first by scrolling all the way down to the bottom and hitting settings.
Okay.
And so what you first want to do is you want to take off all the tabs, and you see these little eyeballs here. These eyeballs will tell you that students cannot see these tabs. These are no longer visible to students.
Okay.
Yep. And so what you want to do is, if you don't want a tab showing, let's say you have formative up here and you don't know what that is or use it, you can slide it down. So if you slide this tab down, you take it off students' visibility and they can no longer see it.
Okay.
So there are some teachers who only want like 3 tabs. So they'll take Google Drive off, they'll take syllabus off, they'll take people, they'll take grades, all this other stuff, and they'll only have 4 navigational tabs that students can go through, or whatever it is that they want. So that's the first thing that will make it easier for students to know where to go and to find out wherever their assignments are. Now, I personally like to keep people up. I like to keep syllabus up, but those are just some of the ways that you can navigate.
Yeah.
So when you do that, make sure to hit save. If you don't hit save, none of your work will be saved. It will go back to the original. So that happens a lot. And you do have to do this for each individual course. And as far as I've learned, it has to be for each individual course. And so that way it makes it clearer. So when you go back into dashboard and you click your class, you can see here student view to see what your students see. And you can see they have this clear left navigational bar that only has the tabs that you want them to see.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, that's great. That's very helpful. Thank you.
Yes, no problem. And with that, Nick, did you want to jump in at this point, or do you want to show her the other navigational tool, or do you want to?
So let me ask you this. Now that I pushed student view, how do I get out of student view?
So student view, you go, so where I am, you still see my screen, you're going to hit leave student view.
Oh, I see. Leave student. Okay.
Yes, down at the bottom, and you go back to your own view, and you're going to see now all these little eyeballs here, and they're going to tell you that students can no longer see these. So you can still have a home page that says welcome or whatever it is that you want to do, but that way students can see the navigational tabs on the side.
Okay.
So that's one way to do it. So yes. Nick, did you want to jump in here?
Sure, I can jump in. Trish, is there another issue that you want to look at?
So yeah, now here's a thing, like I'm having to change my class meeting every time, and I know we don't have a schedule, so we can't really set up a time that keeps getting reset at this point, right? So we have to do that every time we have a class meeting or a check-in right now. Is that correct?
You don't actually have to do that. Are you using Google Meet or Zoom?
I'm using Google Meet, and the reason is because when I go into Zoom, this is what happens. And Joe and I went through this, and he's having the same issues. Not
for the purposes, yeah. Let's stick with Google Meet. It is what we used last year, and this
yeah,
is.
And I'm comfortable with that. So
an introductory video for people. So just for the baselines, let's talk about Google Meet. So what my recommendation is with Google Meet is to use the nicknamed meeting links. So what they look like, and I can share my class I'm glad Sheila and I have some examples to share how we're doing this for you. But yours, by the way, your courses look great. They're really simple and clean, and you'll see mine. Mine's probably as bare bones as you get at this point. So, but you'll see what we got. So let me just put it in student view, and then I'll share it. And you'll see, I opted for what Sheila said, the really basic setup, only because I'm not quite as fancy, I guess. So
while you're doing that, Nick, while you're going through this, if my kids are looking at student view, do they have to check and look for assignments every day to see if there's a new assignment, or will those just pop up?
I can cover that as well, and maybe Sheila, actually, I think you have some assignments. I haven't used them yet, so
I do.
Yeah. Why don't you take over?
When you're done, Nick, I'll cover that.
Okay. What I'm going to show you is just how simple it can be. So I'm only showing these things. I'm not even using announcements yet. They get this, and they get what day it is. For a soft start, I was thinking, well, if you miss day 1, you're going to find day 1 here. If you miss day 2, you're going to find everything we did day 2. So that's it. So this is just what's called a page. And I did leave modules here because soft start, as you see right here, that's actually a module. It helps you organize your like groupings of things.
Yeah.
A module can include assignments and these things called pages. So so if you look at my day 1, this is all I really did. And then I have a Google Meet link that looks like this that I use. This is my pretty much all the time Google Meet link. So I use it for all my classes. I hear something in the background. Maybe Sheila, is that your mic?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
So the way you make those links is you just type in exactly as you see it, meet.google.com, look up, and then you type something unique only to you, GHS Todd Theater, or whatever you want to put there. They can also just go to the Google Meet app and just type in that. What's nice if you have a named link is if they're in a. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I've missed a step here. So
yes,
you're just writing this out, but I mean, I clearly have to go to a Google Meet to do this, correct?
What's nice about Google Meet is you do not. You can create a Google meeting as easily as typing out this link. That is your Google meeting.
Okay.
And can I add real? Oh, go ahead. I was just going to say, Yeah, the reason I nodded is because you don't have to go, Nick is correct. You don't have to go to Google Meet, but if you went to Google Meet to your classroom, that's where you find the Meet link. So that link that Nick's putting up right there, that lookup, just all the way to the / lookup, that actually comes from the very top of a Google Classroom. And that's
Yes.
where you copy the link, but you don't need to go there. That is correct. You don't need, if you have that link, you could make it whatever you want from wherever you are.
Yeah, and all you would get from a Google Meeting tab is this part. That's what she was saying. The rest of this, you just type.
Okay.
Okay. So you get this part. So because most people don't remember this HTTPS : which way do the slashes go? So yeah, Sheila's absolutely right. You can just go to Google Meet. You can start a blank meeting, copy this part, but don't copy any of the letters that go after it, and then add the lookup. We also have, if you go to the go-to, our last technology update has a Google Meet tips that explains all this.
Okay.
They will need to use their PPS accounts, which helps you do things like attendance. So I strongly suggest using the rest of SoftStart to help get them migrated into their PPS accounts. I'll paste this link.
Can we go back? I mean, how did you get here? I'm going to look so stupid.
Yeah.
On
No, start basic. So how did I get this set up, you mean? How did I make this?
Yeah, so you were in student view, but I'm just kind of go back. So there's what page is this? This is
So yes,
page?
Good question. How did I make this? So I'm using modules.
Okay, so you like if you going all the way back, Nick, and you're like, okay, I'm coming to my page. Here I come.
Even better. Let's go to a test course, which I have here.
Just go to your
start from scratch. I'm going to start from scratch.
Yeah.
Everything.
That's
meet this.
I get.
Here we are.
Really
here we are.
For you guys. But
there's nothing here. We've done what Sheila recommended. We haven't even done that with this course. So we're going to go to settings. We're going to remove the navigation. Oh, I do have them set. So I just want home, announcements, assignments, and modules. The reason those didn't show up before is because I don't have any.
yeah.
I am not using announcements. They're handy, but like you said, if you want to just do one module for each day to get started, I think it simplifies things even more. So I'm going to save that.
Okay, so this is each module can be a day, like lesson number 1, module number 1.
Yeah, and the way I organized it, I went to modules and I did a new module and I called it, I believe, just Soft Start. So, and then I'm going to add that module. And then I can add multiple things inside of here. So when I click on the plus on this side, so this Soft Start, I'm going to even make this easier. This is a module.
I'm going to follow along with you because that's what
Yes.
I'm just going to do a Soft Start module and kind of summarize the activities that we did before I get going on what I'm going to call like week 1
yeah,
kind of thing.
Think about modules as like your Google Drive folders.
Okay.
You can put documents in those folders. You can put spreadsheets. Yeah. You can put files. So in a module, you can put lots of different things. So to add things, you hit the plus over here. And by the way, remember, with anything in Canvas, you have to publish. So this is not published.
Right.
So here we go.
Like that. So that's great. So you have the day 1 Soft Start.
So I haven't created day 1. I just created, this is the Soft Start module. It's the folder that's going to include everything I'm doing for Soft Start. So I didn't do any assignments for Soft Start. I just wanted to give them information about our agenda. So an assignment would be something that you're going to grade. A quiz also maybe something you're going to grade. A page is really what I've used for just providing information.
So let me ask you. So here I am, and I'm doing what you're doing. And when I look up here, it's like I get the box of drag files here to your module. But if I just want to write, where do I?
Just want to write. You click on the right side. See the plus that I'm hovering over?
See, okay. See, this is really.
On that.
This is the basic. This is how basic.
This is absolutely. Yeah, we've been wanting to do a short video like this. So, and then Sheila, I'm going to hand it over to you for the next thing. Maybe going a little bit into assignments. just because I think people can use it. So I'm going to pass it over. I'm going to add you as a teacher on this, so maybe we'll just keep using this one. Which actually, I've been talking to the SPED department, and I need to show people how to add paraprofessionals and support people to their classes. So click on new page, and then it's going to ask you down here, Trish, which name you want to give it. And this is what I did. Dave.
Wait a second. So I'm going to here, and what it takes me when I go to that ad, Nick, like I put in my module called Soft Start. I go to the plus.
Yep.
And when I came down here, what I get is because is an add item to Soft Start, because I have an assignment already in there that I haven't.
Oh yes, it's showing your assignment. You can add that assignment to this folder module.
But what if I don't want to, because I'm not ready to add that assignment yet?
Then don't click on it. Click on new. You can click on the drop down, add, and you can choose another type of item.
Instead of assignment, it could just say page.
Yep, add page. And then if you look down below, it's got this new page. It's a little confusing. This dialog is not the easiest.
Yeah, and then mine's home page. Maybe that, I don't know why that's there, but it's like.
Yeah, you might have already created a home page. I don't have one yet. So now you can click on new page and then click on the page name. It's going to show you if you already have pages, it's going to let you put them into this module. I don't have any other pages yet because this is a brand new class. So we'll call this day one.
I'm going to call it week one since I'm going back over the Soft Start, right?
Yeah, if you want to make a page a week, you can make a page a week. If you want to make a page a day, whatever you want to do. So you can add to a page. They will see all those updates. So as you go through the week, you can keep everything. Let's just do that, week one.
Okay, I'm going back to your day one now because that makes more sense. I think that way.
I'll show everyone how to change that. So click on the ... edit. It's a little confusing how to edit the names versus the actual content.
Then when it says like indent, what does that mean?
So when you are organizing a document and you want to have like subheadings, it's kind of like
I
that.
see. Okay.
It's kind of like that. You can have pages that are indented. So this will look indented. I won't go into that yet. Okay. So to edit the actual content, to go like start typing, you're going to click on that page, and notice the menu has changed on the left. Now we're in pages. This is one of the reasons we don't always want students to see everything, because your pages might not be organized very well. So when students go there, they're going to see a kind of a list of pages and they don't know which one to click on, and they start to get that information overload. So that's why I often hide pages. And then we click on edit, and now we have the place where you can type. So let's just quickly do a Google Meet link, // meet. Meet.google.com/lookup. I've done this enough to have this memorized, but as Sheila said, you can always get this part from Google Meeting. And then I call my main one, GHS, Finger, Engineering. It doesn't matter if this is not a cryptic code because you're forcing students to use the PPS accounts. So anyone coming into your meetings will have their real PPS names. If there are any issues, you can refer them to Scott.
So, right.
No, you can have a conversation with them.
Okay, so
it's not a link. It's not. Hang on one second. It's not a link yet. It's just text. So if I hit enter after it, it turns it into a link. I can also highlight it, and I can choose the edit link or add link, and it'll say link options. We can change it to say, this is my, and then it's a link.
Yeah.
That will look like that.
Okay. So I'm still on add item to my Soft Start. So I get that, but I want to get where you are, and I can't see it there because. So
let's go back to your modules, which is where we added that one.
Yeah.
You have this right here, or day one.
Okay, so so mine looks like Soft Start is kind of, yours says this is a module. Mine just says Soft Start, and then I have day one.
Okay.
And then if I want to go into day one,
click on day one. And then to edit, go to the right. Upper right-hand corner, it says edit.
Okay. Okay, and then I can put my day one stuff in there.
Correct.
Okay, okay, that's very helpful.
So
Very helpful.
I'm gonna add Sheila to the course, and there's something really important that happens when you have multiple sections. So if you want to do assignments, and well, she can show you how to add assignments to modules and sections. So, but let me add her. So if you're also a teacher with a para, we've had 2 calls from paraprofessionals that need help getting into classes. So you're going to go to, I always end up going to that menu looking for things, but it's the next one over for your course. This is the master Canvas level. This is your course. So if you want to invite a paraprofessional or someone to your course to view or observe or assist students, no, I think you're already on here, Sheila, but let me remove you. Well, actually, this will be faster because you're already on. But if I wanted to add Sheila, I could just do S. Kelso, and I think I can do that. You can also do their full email address. And there are several roles. A teacher is another person just like you who can change everything and basically run the course as much in the same capacity you can. I think this is new, or maybe it wasn't on the website I looked at. A SPED teacher appears to be the one you'd want to use for a SPED teacher. So you might have multiple sections, meaning your period 1 versus period 2, and you can give them access here for that. This will allow that teacher to interact with all the sections. If you check it, it's only going to do this one. Okay, so next, it found Sheila, and Sheila's already in here, so I'm going to hand it over. Okay. Did you find that course, Sheila?
Yeah, I think I have that on my courses here. I'll grab that one. I think that's the one we were practicing with earlier.
Yes.
So yeah, okay.
Oh,
yes.
And I'm going to change you to a teacher because it looks like I got you as a...
Yeah, you got me as a student, yes.
Okay, so you should have edit access now. Okay, so...
Okay, perfect. It's just been,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop presenting. Let's just check in with Trish. Trish, how are you doing?
I'm okay. I just tried to put some things together, and it's, I'm just really struggling with it, guys. I have to say, it's just. So I go back and I've added my day 1. I know. Sorry.
Okay. That's good.
I'm embarrassed. I'm going to go in and edit that, or not edit that. I don't want to edit it. I want to go add to it. So I just click on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I put something in there, like I'm going to day 1, I'm editing it, and I just want to say, this is what we did today. And then I saved it. Let me see if it works again.
Okay, and I'm pulling up my screen while you're doing that, Trish,
okay,
so I can walk you through the assignments portion. So you're just finishing up what Nick just showed you with the day and the module.
Yeah, and I just saved it. So
okay.
now when I look at it, it goes, it's that. But then when I went back to view all pages, but I don't really want to do that. How do I get back to see this? To see
you want to go back to your main page?
Why don't you share it?
So what I'm looking at,
I can stop sharing my screen. Let me stop presenting my screen so you can present yours.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, I'll go back to my dashboard. Writing for the arts. All right. So I created a module. So here we go. Here's day 1. I click on day 1, and it basically just says today is about getting to know each other and building our community. Mm-hmm. That's all we did, right? So now, do I want to publish that?
So yes, whenever you want someone to see something, you always want to make sure that module or that assignment is posted, or is published. So you want to click publish. Yep.
Okay, and then I go back. How do I go back? Do I go back to my home page?
Yeah, so you can go back to your homepage to see, but if you want to see modules, if you want to see the module you just posted, you're going to go to modules and you're going to click select modules.
Why does this look like my students can't see that then?
So that's because you don't have modules in your navigational tab. So
I should.
that you should have it there. So go over to navigation and it is showing up. So
I'm going to jump in. And there's
jump
another,
in, please.
I had the same problem, Sheila. If you haven't published any content, so if you haven't published any content, it's going to hide it from students. So that's what it's saying. So go into modules and publish. Sorry.
Thank you. No, that's fantastic. I didn't know that. Thank you.
Oh,
That's super helpful.
I just noticed that.
I have
So,
to publish this? No.
and that's, yep,
Well, how,
it's going to be the little, yep, there you go.
Yep. So you're going to click, and once you see that little green check mark, then it's been published.
then I can go back to my, I don't want to go back to my dashboard. Oops. Go here. And then I go to my modules. It's still not showing that.
So the other thing is the modules itself is likely not published. So you want to go back to select modules. And then what you want to do, you've got your soft start. It looks like it's published. That
So this
part's
is
published.
perplexing me a little.
Yeah, actually, I'm a little perplexed myself. Go ahead and refresh your screen and see if something happens. Because that doesn't seem to make a lot of sense now that because if your modules isn't published, yes, that won't show up.
Right.
But
Because I'm wondering, my students, because what you're saying is they can't see this, even though I've published a module and.
yeah, so here's the way you can test it. Go back to your home, just click your home page, and then go click student view. And now, yeah, so it's still not showing up. So something is happening. You know what I'm thinking? Let's just hit save again. Go back to your get out of student view. So there you go, perfect. You did that, you rocked it. Now go, to go down to settings on the bottom all the way. And then now go ahead and hit save. Just again, I don't know. I don't know why it wouldn't work, but let's try again. Nothing happened. Wonderful. So this is a part where
okay. I was digging around. I think I might have found it. So
you might have figured it out. Okay.
Yes. So because Trish, you started doing this a little differently. You started with a you must have started with a different course homepage. I'm wondering if this is it. So you can choose what students see that when they come into your course initially. And that did fix it on my test one. So go to your home navigation, and then it says on the right under that it says course homepage. Course homepage.
Choose homepage.
Fourth one. Next. Yep.
Oh, you mean choose homepage?
Sorry. Yes. Choose course homepage. Mine looks different because I clicked on it. So choose homepage. So front page, you use the page's front page, which is why you had a page called homepage and I didn't. So when I use modules, I choose course modules as my homepage, so that they see those right away. So change that to course modules.
But I don't want them to see. I want.
Yeah, let me just.
Okay, let's do this. All right.
I don't know why.
Okay, so
it did work. So it's now published. I don't know why.
Go back to choose homepage and go back to this is what I want them to see.
Yeah, that will help. That will be whatever the students see. Yeah.
It fixed it. I don't know why.
It fixed it, but that's ridiculous. If you know that stuff, then how are we going to? Good God. Okay, so this is good. This is really.
Okay.
So students come in and they're like, oh, here's my class. They just go, I guess I better check and see if I have an assignment. I mean, how do they know Like I know in
Um,
Google Classroom, they get notified that they have a new assignment. Does that happen in Canvas?
Yes, so that does
Take it
happen.
away, Sheila.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no problem. And feel free, jump in anytime if I miss something. So absolutely, kids get a notification. So when they sign up for Canvas, they get notifications that assignments have been posted, and this is automatic.
I see.
They can change their notifications, so they can go in and change them. But yes, they will know when it's posted, and they will also know and get a an update if they're on their phone as well, if they've got it set up there.
Okay.
So the
Right now, the only place I should be really kind of working in a very kind of rudimentary beginner zone is these modules.
yes,
So
absolutely.
I'm not even building assignments then, right? I mean, I could take that off because really all I'm asking them to look at is the module, and that's where they'll find their assignments.
So yes, the answer is if you do just want to put modules up, assignments can be posted within the module. And so they won't be able to click directly on the assignments tab and see assignments directly, but they'll be able to click the modules and see the assignments within the modules tab.
I hate the name modules. That's like the worst name ever. It should be like unit or weeks or, you know what I mean? It should be.
Yeah. So I think that that's the confusing part, but if you want, so essentially what you want to do I can show you how to put an assignment into a module. Do you want to see that, or do you know how to do that?
Well, I do want to do that. I do.
Okay, no problem.
Assignment next week. Well, at some point. But just show me how to do it. I'll
Sure. Absolutely. So I'll show you with our test screen. So if you want to stop presenting there, I'll go ahead and present, and I'll just show you how to do it there. So yeah, okay. So let's go to my Canvas here. And so we're back at the test classroom. You've got your modules. I'm going to refresh my page to make sure it's all set up. Okay. So, and I believe I'm not in, okay, good. I'm not in student view. So what you want to do is you'll click your modules, right? You'll go back. You've got your soft start. You've got day one. Let's pretend you already went down to settings and you already fixed your navigational tabs, and I can do that in a moment anyway. So when you click on day one, you see here, this is your, the actual module with the meeting link. Go back to your modules, okay? And to add an assignment, to add another module, so let's say you wanted to do week 1 or week 2, however you want to do it, you would add it here with this plus sign. But you can see here that there's a place in this section where you can add, now I usually, let me just jump back for a second. I usually use the assignments group. I'll use just assignments to create an assignment. I'll hit plus.
Okay.
I'll create an assignment, and let's say I want to do, let's just say I'm making an intro survey.
Okay.
And, you know, so I hit assignment, I hit intro survey, I type what Nick just showed us. You put, here is the link to survey. Okay, so let's say you want to do an intro survey. You would put your highlight, and I don't have a link currently, so you could either do external link or you can do course link. This is the interesting part, is that if you have a course link, you can connect it right here. So if you're telling students to go to a specific assignment, you can link this, or a specific module, it can be linked in course links.
Okay.
So, but for this instance, you'd want an external link. And let's say it was a Google survey, you would enter that right here. I'm not going to do it because I don't have a Google survey or whatever that I'm entering in, but that's what you would do. You would enter it in here, link, external link.
Okay.
And then, yeah. And so if you didn't want to do an external link and you wanted to just add an assignment and say, here are my survey questions, you can do that. Okay. 1, 2, whatever. And let's say your survey questions are here. You want students to submit an actual text.
Yeah.
You go right in here and make sure it's under assignments group. You can display it just because it's a survey. You can do it as complete or incomplete. So that way, if they've done this survey, and I'm going to erase the link part here so that way we won't get confused. If they've completed the survey, you can easily check complete, complete or incomplete. Submission type, you could say online, you could say text entry, and then students can type into a box to answer these questions. So, whatever question they are here, they can answer in a text box. You can allow unlimited, which is fine, unlimited attempts. You don't need to check group assignment unless it is, and we can go into that later, but for now, this is just a basic assignment. You don't have to require peer reviews, although I'll tell you, I've used this last year with Miss Burton's class and Burton's class, and this is great with peer reviews, that function, and we can go into that another time.
Okay.
Assign to, sorry, I'll pause for a second. Did you have a question?
No, no, this is good. This is great.
Okay, awesome.
Sheila, I did add some sections to show, so you'll have some sections on the side too. Please,
yes. Did you want to, you said you have sections to show?
Yeah, go ahead, and if you want to show them in the assigned to.
Yes. Absolutely. I'll just add, so assign to, if you have multiple sections, you want to make sure that you are assigning it to just the specific section that you want. Like, let's say you want your assignment to be the same section, you don't have to do anything. You could just say assign to everyone, right?
Yeah.
But if you have a specific section, yeah, if you have, like, let's say you want the due date to be different for a different section because it happens on Tuesday instead of Monday, and you want to give them another day or whatever, then that's the case where you would assign it to a specific section. And Nick, you said you put period 2 in there. So Nick, you put some sections in there. That's great. So assign to period 2, and then you would say due. Let's say period 2 happens on Wednesday. You want to give them till Thursday. So that's great. And then you could change available from this certain time. So you could give them 9 in the morning, or at September 9th at 12 a.m. the assignment opens. And then you can give them a deadline. I don't put them in here, but you can put assignment deadlines in, or I mean, I put due dates in here, but I don't ever close the assignment. But that's up to you. If you want to close it, you can close it off on, like, next Monday or something, and then they can't submit anymore.
Okay.
So yeah.
I did all of that. I have an assignment that I haven't assigned yet.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to assign it down the road, but it's a big assignment that takes them a lot of time to work on. So I probably will assign it next week. So if I go into my quest, and I have a link there to the document, and I don't want them to submit it. Like, I didn't realize the boxes. Now on a submission type, I don't want a text entry or a website, or basically I want a file upload, right? They just need to upload their document.
Absolutely. So if you want them to upload a document, you want to select the box file uploads, and you want to, so a couple things. If it's online, that's fine. If it's on paper, they can, on paper, they're not going to give you any of these options. So make sure it says online.
Yeah.
Yeah, file uploads. And then if you want a specific type of file, like let's say you only want students to allow you to submit PDFs and they can't submit anything else, then you want to restrict file upload types.
Okay.
Yeah, but other than that, if you're fine with their file uploads, you just click that box.
Yeah, that's what I did. And then
Sheila,
go ahead.
Can I jump in real quick on uploads? Because I got a few questions today about submission types.
Please do.
And so some of our students are on Chromebooks, so they don't have access to Word, or so the file uploads will also allow for Google Docs to be uploaded, so you can use your Google Drive. So that's one thing that I want to make sure people know. It doesn't explicitly say Google Drive, but the text entry obviously is everyone. The website URL would accept a Google Doc. They could copy and paste their Google Doc, but there's an extra step where they're going to have to make sure that they share that document with you.
Okay. Well, that's just we can share with them. It's just like your sharing to Google Docs is usually.
Yes. So
yeah.
I wanted to add file uploads will include Google Docs and Google Drive.
Thank you. That's important for people to know too, that it does include Google Drive.
So when I went in there for assign, I put my due date as the end of the quarter for this big assignment. So that's there. But available from, should I put like next week?
So you want to start, if you don't want your students to access the assignment until a specific day, that's what you want to change it. So that's the available from, yeah.
Okay.
And you'll change it. And then the same goes for if you're in your next period and you have this class on Thursday, you could put a separate due date. So you could say that this one's due Monday, or maybe give them a little more time. And then you can make that one available starting on Thursday.
Okay.
And that's for period 3. And remember, your sections are going to show up different. Nick's sections here show up nice and clean because, you know, in a test class, it's easy to put period 2, period 3, but your classes are going to show up the way that they're labeled in Canvas. So just know that. Okay.
So I did all that, and now would I just go down to save?
Yes. So you would click save, and if it says, I'll just kind of click here, continue, because it's telling me that not all of my students are covered under there. But you see, you do click save, but you will have to click publish. So when you do click publish, then students are going to be able to see it. But until then, they aren't able to.
And right now, it's not in a module. It's only in my assignments.
Right.
I created it, but would I move it to a module, or do I just leave it in assignments and that's just?
So that's going to be the way that you decide to organize and structure your classes. Nick, if you wanted to jump in and give an option on this, I'll tell you what I do. I don't use modules. Mine's a little bit different. I only use assignments. So I use assignments and groups. So modules I'll use for specific content. But I know teachers who use modules and assignments just fine either way. So it matters entirely the way you want to organize it.
Just use assignments. I can just do a list of assignments, and that might be easier for me.
So
big units of stuff, right?
Yeah, and that works just fine. That's what I do. But again, it really doesn't matter. It's going to be exactly like the preference you want to have. So for me,
how did you do that week 1 assignment? So
I just pressed group. So you see here where it says group.
Okay.
I pressed group and I brought in my assignment to week 1.
Okay.
Now this, and Nick, feel free to jump in. And I'm sure there are going to be teachers who watch this and are like, oh, you know, I do it like this. So really just know that this is a matter of preference entirely.
Okay.
And
I'm glad you're sharing this. It's this is the simplest way to do it. Modules would be the next level of complexity.
Yeah.
If you, the reason you would want to move from just assignments, as Sheila is showing, to modules, if you have content you want to have that's permanent, that will, and is unrelated to an assignment. So modules and pages. So really, Sheila, Trish, your home page.
Yeah.
Was a page, right? It was a homepage page. So it's kind of there all the time. So it can be put into a module if you want to access it that way. So you do always kind of have some content that isn't an assignment. So you could just make your homepage like you have, and then have everything else be in assignments.
And I could, if I wanted to, like, basically just. And so for me, it might be easier. Like Nick, you have your homepage as your module page,
right?
So you might have your assignment page as your homepage. So that's the first thing that your kids see. Like that's probably what I would want to do, because they don't need to see my homepage. That's just something that they could look at. But then they wouldn't have. My concern then is that that's where I'm putting my links. I know you guys are doing something different, and that's not registering it. So I think at this point, I'll just have my homepage, and then I'll go back to adding, and then I'll just tell the kids, I guess, to just check the assignment pages when it comes up, I guess.
Right, and if you see what I just did too, I chose my homepage and I selected it and put it as assignments list. Last year, I did that. I'm not doing that this year. I actually do have my homepage as my landing page, but you can make your assignments list, or you can make your course modules just like Nick showed us. If you wanted your students to see assignments right off the bat, you could click assignments list right from the right-hand corner like Nick showed us earlier. Yeah. And then this is the first thing that they'll land on is week 1, week 2. But when you go into another thing to just be mindful of is always check student view, because student view, you're going to see what students are looking at. And if students have show by date, their assignments by date are going to show up. But if they have show by type selected, then they're going to see your assignment groups. So that's the only downside to using the method that I just showed you with assignments, is that they actually have to select from these two. So
I have to go, but this is super helpful, and I feel like I can begin now. I can start building my stuff, and I'm sure I'll have more questions down the road, but I feel at least now I'm ready. I'm kind of ready for next week.
good.
But we don't, and so you could probably stop recording right now.
Okay, yep. Hang on a second.
I have another question for you.